The afternoon sun filtered through the dust motes of the Connor living room, casting a weary light over Dan and Darlene as they engaged in a deep dive between the sofa cushions. Their fingers were searching for anything that felt like legal tinder, but the haul was predictably meager. "Oh, we are not going to find any change," Darlene sighed, pulling out a sticky gum wrapper. "We have not had anybody over in months. If we do find something, we are just taking it from each other. That is like robbing Peter to pay Peter, and we all know Peter is broke." Dan grunted as he shifted a particularly stubborn pillow. "Why do these things even have zippers?" "I guess you were supposed to take the pillow out and wash the cover," Darlene replied, though the concept seemed alien to the current state of the household. "Well, we have not done it in 32 years, Dan noted, staring at the faded fabric. "If we wash them now, all that will be left is the zipper." Their archaeological dig was interrupted by the front door swinging open. Harris and Becky burst in, looking windblown and carrying an air of frantic urgency. "Hey guys, we cannot stay long," Harris announced, checking her phone. "We just got our test results in. We are COVID negative. We just came back to clean up a little, charge our phones, and get back to the protest." "I thought you could not go because you had to go to work," Darlene said, crossing her arms as she stood up. "I am only going on my days off," Harris retorted. A young man stepped tentatively into the house behind them, looking like he had just walked off a college campus and into a revolution. "Hey y'all, I am Josh," he began, but Darlene held up a hand. No, do not make a speech," she interrupted. "Hey, do not rush off," Dan added, gesturing toward the sagging couch. "Let your guests sit on the couch." As Harris led Josh toward the kitchen, Dan leaned in close to Darlene. "Who is that guy? I think I saw him when I went down there to talk to Harris, but I am not sure what is going on." "Something must be going on," Darlene whispered back, her eyes narrowing. "Because if I am not mistaken, he is the first guy she has brought home, right?" "I am sure it is just a friend," Dan said, though he did not sound convinced. "You do not bring a boyfriend over here unless it is a ritual sacrifice of some kind." A few minutes later, Becky wandered back into the living room. "Oh hey, do you know anything about this Josh guy that Harris brought home?" Darlene pounced. "I have seen him on her Instagram," Becky said, shrugging. She was spray painting something on a building, and he was holding her cans. "I love you because you do not know what that means," Darlene muttered under her breath. Suddenly, a strange gurgling sound echoed from the hallway. "The sink is backing up," Dan observed. "That means they are taking a shower together." "Oh, I doubt that," Darlene said, though a flicker of panic crossed her face. She has only known him for a couple days. "At their age, a couple days is all you need to start soaping each other up," Dan countered. Mark walked into the room, looking up from his book. "Mark, can you give us a minute?" Darlene asked. "Yeah, good idea," Mark said, turning on his heel. "Otherwise, I might figure out what soaping each other up means." "Grow up, Nana. Josh has a boyfriend." Darlene turned back to the adults. "All right. Well, if he is a thing, I need to know way more about him." "No, I know all about the type of Josh," Jackie added as she joined the circle. "Lots of hair, lots of lies." "Not necessarily," Becky argued. "I have dated a lot of bald liars. Some of them lied about having hair." "I am just saying there is a right way to do this," Jackie insisted. "First, you tell the mom how young she looks. Then you wait until everybody goes to sleep. Then you sneak to the backyard and have sex behind the chicken coop. A little respect, that is all I am asking for here." "She is 18, Darlene said. "It is not the end of the world if Harris has shower sex." "You better hope that is all they are doing up there," Darlene warned. "What do you think they are doing that is worse than sex?" Becky asked. "I am not getting into it with you squares," Dan grumbled. Just then, Josh emerged from the hallway, looking refreshed. "Hey, I am Darlene, the mother of Harris," Darlene said, extending a hand. "Oh, you are the mother of Harris? You look so young," Josh said with a polite smile. "Oh, I am not the type that needs that kind of thing, but thanks," Darlene replied, though she preened just a little. "Okay if I grab a couple sodas?" Josh asked. "Oh sure, Josh. I just put some in the fridge," Darlene said. "And you know what? While you are in there, why don't you hang out with the aunts of Harris? They are super curious and fun to talk to." "Sure," Josh said, heading for the kitchen. Darlene followed him in a moment later. "Sit down a minute, Josh. That was a quick shower." "Yeah, Harris wanted to take hers, and I am just grabbing her soda," Josh explained. "Separate showers," Jackie whispered from the doorway. Noted, squares. Oh, you may want to fix your water pressure, by the way, Josh added conversationally. It is somewhere in between a trickle and a leak. So where to take from that? Darlene asked, her interrogation voice beginning to peak. That at your house, you have great water pressure? Good to know. So your house with good water pressure. You live there alone with a roommate or maybe a wife? Yeah, I am not married, Josh said. So you are living with your girlfriend? I am sorry, boyfriend. I live with my folks, and it is strictly platonic, Josh replied. Good, Darlene said. So you and Harris camping out at the protest together. Are you together? Or is this one of these everybody is loving everybody deals? And that is not a judgment. She is a freak. You know, we are really not into labels, Josh said calmly. We are just hanging. I think Harris is great, and she has got this aura of positivity and light around her. Yeah, after a couple weed gummies, Darlene muttered. That is not a judgment either. She is an alcoholic. Harris really wanted her soda, Josh said, taking the cans and making a quick exit. As soon as he was gone, the family huddled. What did you guys find out? Becky asked. He is not married, Darlene reported. He and Harris are definitely a thing, although they are not labeling it. And he and his folks have great water pressure at home. Oh my God, they are a thing, Becky gasped. This is it. This is the first real boyfriend of Harris. What are you so worried about? Jackie asked. Let us see where this goes. We know where this goes, Darlene said grimly. You Connor girls always marry the first guys you bring home. Roseanne did. You did, and so did you. No, that was a little different, Becky argued. We did not have a lot of options. We were living in a run-down, crowded house, and we were trying desperately to get the hell away from our family. Darlene looked around the room. Okay, we really have to find out about this guy. In the kitchen, Becky was staring at some blueprints. Hey, are you going to build something? Ben asked as he walked in. Yeah, I really need a closet in the basement, Becky said. You know a closet is basically a square, right? Ben asked, squinting at her drawings. Because that looks like an optical illusion of some sort. Clearly I breastfed so long today that the baby sucked out all my brains, Becky sighed. Well, hey, I would love a project, Ben offered. Shopping for the groceries of other people is not as fulfilling as it sounds. Would you let me help you build a thing? Oh, that is sweet, Ben, but these are not the hands of a carpenter, Becky said, looking at his palms. These are the baby soft hands of a man who picks out the toilet paper of other people. Oh hey, I grew up in the hardware store of my dad, okay? Ben said, rolling up his sleeves. I can do something simple like a closet. Come on, let us go down to the basement, and we will get the right measurement. Okay, but do not tell my dad, Becky cautioned. The poor guy feels like he has to do everything around here, so I want to surprise him by having it done already. I have always felt bad that he wanted sons, and he had me, Darlene, and DJ. How are we going to keep your dad from seeing it? Ben asked. Does he not go down there once in a while? Oh no, Becky said with a dismissive wave. His knees are shot. The stairs are like a vertical moat. Later that evening, Harris and Josh were back in the kitchen with Darlene. I am so sorry, guys. I got caught up at work, Darlene said, looking at Josh. Wow, this looks great, Dad. So, Josh, love your mother? Hate your mother? That is so funny, Josh laughed. The parents of Josh wanted to know the exact same thing about me. Boy, that was a tough moment. Oh, so you met the parents of Josh already? Darlene asked, her eyebrows shooting up. Oh yeah, Harris said. Just on the phone. Josh was telling me all about their protest plans. Yeah, we are ready to occupy major financial institutions in order to make a point about the uneven distribution of wealth, Josh said with conviction. Interesting, Darlene noted. Because if you start breaking into banks, I think the police will enjoy the opportunity to debate your political beliefs with repeated nightsticks to the head. That is a chance we are willing to take, Josh said. You guys have no idea how bad the income inequality is in this country. I have some idea, Darlene said dryly. Would you like a jelly glass for your generic cola? Look, I understand that you are willing to take a chance with your own head, but now you are talking about the head of my daughter. Well, Mom, that is the only way to get social media coverage, Harris argued. I mean, Josh knows what he is doing. He has gone to 1 million protests. He is kind of a genius at this stuff. Darlene said. If they come at us, we are just going to live stream it, Josh added. I have a video of me getting hit with a tear gas canister in Philadelphia. There was blood everywhere. 30,000 views. That is insane, Mom, Harris said. I know you were kind of nervous about this, but do not worry, we know what we are doing. We should probably get going. Going to need this for the tear gas, Josh said, grabbing a carton from the fridge. That is almond milk, Darlene noted. As they left, Darlene turned to Dan. This is bad. Harris is listening to this kid, and the only thing we know about him is that he cannot wait to get into it with the cops. Have to go online and see if this kid has got a death wish or is just talking like that to impress Harris. With you and your sisters, the only way I could get information was by giving your boyfriends a friendly squeeze right where the spine meets the brain stem, Dan remembered. Times change. Down in the basement, Ben was hammering away. Okay, where do you want the shelf for your shoes? One shelf? Becky asked. I am not Darlene. Suddenly the basement door creaked open. What the hell is going on here? Dan roared, making his way down the stairs. He made it across the moat. Ben whispered to Becky. Hey Dad, Becky said nervously. What is that supposed to be? Dan asked, pointing to the frame. A closet, Becky explained. It is almost done. All it needs is a coat of paint and a door. I asked Ben to help me. I grew up in a hardware store. Well, if you had grown up in a house and gone to school, you would have known you need masonry anchors, Dan barked. There is cinder block behind that. You cannot just join it together like this. Well, that is one opinion, Ben countered. But the way I was taught, those screws will work. You just have to use the right size drill bit. You know what? You are probably right, Dan said, his voice dripping with sarcasm. I have only got 45 years in the construction business. What do I know about building things in my own house? It looks like you have done a great job. Suddenly, Dan grabbed a crowbar and ripped the frame right off the wall. Oh, what are you doing? Becky cried. That took hours. You are so tired when you get home from work. I thought you would be happy you did not have to do it. Well, I am not happy, Dan shouted. Because now I have to redo it. Nobody does anything in this house without asking me first. Upstairs, Darlene was hunched over the laptop. You know that does not prove anything, she muttered to Mark. You know you can do that to any closet. Josh is full of bull. I cannot even find that Philadelphia blood everywhere thing he was talking about. And by the way, never search for that. Keep looking, Jackie urged. I want to be sure that Harris is safe with him. We checked all the records, Becky said, leaning over the shoulder of Darlene. Every one of his social media accounts. We did not find anything weird. Give it up, Darlene sighed. Oh, you stupid old women, Mark said, sliding into the chair. If you want to know about someone, you do not look at what they post. Everybody lies. You have to look at their parents or at their idiot friends who drunk post. That is where you get the truth. Here is his dad. Mark clicked a few links. Oh, whoa, look. That is his house. It does not look very big, but it is really nice. That is not a house, Darlene said, squinting at the screen. That is a yacht. They have a yacht. Any idea what crawled up the butt of Dad? Becky asked as Dan walked into the room. He just went off on me. Who cares? Darlene said, gesturing to the screen. Look at this yacht. Are we looking at buying one? Dan asked. Because things changed a lot in the past hour. He is not a psychopath, he is rich, Darlene said. Who is rich? Josh and his family, Becky explained. Look, his dad is pretty good looking, and his mom has got the first wife written all over her. I bet he is looking to trade up. He is too old for you, Becky, Darlene said. Besides, I would actually kill that woman for him. Let us check out his drunk friends, Mark suggested. They scrolled through more photos. Wow, looks like Josh did not lie about doing a lot of protests, Darlene noted. But he has also been doing a lot of ladies. Yeah, look, Becky pointed. Here is a picture of him blocking bulldozers in the Amazon rainforest with a hot Brazilian girl. And here is another one 3 months ago where he is protesting the Keystone Pipeline with his arm around a girl from the Sioux Nation. Oh my God, this is ridiculous, Darlene groaned. He has a girl for every cause. This guy is just using Harris as his poverty poster girl. And when he is done with this protest, he is going to dump her, and it is going to destroy her. I have to go down there. Oh, poor Harris, Becky whispered. Making a bad choice can ruin your life. Hey, check out if the dad of Josh is an activist too, Becky added to Mark. Yeah, see if he is into rescuing single, broke mothers from their basements and releasing them to run free in sprawling mansions. Back at the house, Dan was still fuming. Dad, take a break, Darlene said. You cannot build my closet in one day. If I leave this half finished, you and the beard farmer are just going to go back down there and screw things up even worse, Dan grumbled. We were just trying to take something off your plate, Becky said softly. I think you know what happens when somebody tries to take something off my plate, Dan replied. I do not get it, Becky asked. Why did you get so angry? Because I do not want Ben doing stuff for me because you think I am too old to do it myself, Dan admitted. I did not say old. I said tired, Becky corrected. I know what you meant, Dan said. I do not like seeing you working yourself to death to prove a point instead of being out here. You should be on the couch with Louise, having a beer. Or working on your bike, having a beer. Or having a beer and planning your next beer. Or having a bunch of beers and building a closet to see how it turns out. Oh, beer, Dan sighed. Darlene found Harris at the protest site. Harris. Mom, what do you want? Harris snapped. Listen, I found some stuff out about Josh on the internet that I think you need to know, Darlene began. You looked him up? That is really creepy, Harris said, turning away. No, it was not me. It was Jackie and Becky with the technical assistance of Mark, Darlene explained. Did you know that Josh is rich? Yes, I know that his parents have money, Harris shrugged. So what? He is more committed than anyone here. Yeah, of course he is, Darlene argued. Because if he gets arrested, then Daddy, accompanied by his new girlfriend, Jackie or Becky, bails him out and wipes his record clean. If you get arrested, you are on your own. What are you talking about? Of course he would help me. I am his girlfriend, Harris insisted. All right, here is the thing, Darlene said, softening her voice. Josh has a different girl for every cause. All right, so this is about class struggle. So you are the poor white girl that gives him street cred. Wow, you are so messed up, Harris said, tears welling in her eyes. I do not care that he had other girlfriends. You are just trying to dig stuff up because you do not think a guy like Josh could like me for me. No, I just want you to know who Josh really is, Darlene said. I do not want you to get your heart broken. Well, how do you know he is going to break my heart? Maybe I will break his heart, Harris challenged. Yeah, that does not happen for us, Darlene said sadly. We are done talking, Harris said, turning her back. Wait, Harris. You have no idea how bad this can hurt, Darlene called out. Yeah, you are right, Harris shouted back over her shoulder. I have no idea about a lot of things because you are always hovering around me trying to protect me. Just leave me alone and let me feel things. You do not have anything to teach me. I mean, you screwed up your entire life. I do not want to be anything like you. So just go home, smother Mark, and know that I do not need you anymore. Darlene stood in the cold, stunned. Wow. Okay. You know what? She shouted. I hope you have a wonderful life with Josh. I hope that you guys get married, and I hope you have a beautiful baby that kicks you in the heart just like you just did to me. And you know what? If you do not get married, at least let Richie Rich knock you up. You think of your family for once. Back at the house, Ben was talking to Darlene. Okay, I know what is going on with my dad, Darlene said. Oh yeah? Ben asked. Also, what is bugging old man wall anchors? He is getting older, and he does not want to be replaced, Darlene explained. And then you come in here with your hardware store and your marshmallowy hands, and you are a threat. But I know how to fix it. Just go tell him you suck at building things. But I do not suck at building things, Ben protested. I know that, but you just need to admit you need his help, Darlene urged. But I do not need his help, Ben insisted. I know that you and I both know that is not true, Darlene said. I mean, you are great at pretty much everything. You are amazing. But you know the male ego. You have to tell them what they want to hear, and they will do whatever you want. Some guys, Ben muttered. Ben walked down to the basement where Dan was working. I just thought I would tighten that up before I got back to the closet, Ben said, pointing to a joint. Wow, well this is fantastic, Dan said, looking at the work. Okay, now that I see what you have done here, I think you were right about how to connect the frame to the wall. It is not just about connecting the walls, Junior, Ben said, adopting a humble tone. It is about the kind of materials you are using. The hardware, right? Although I think that is the hardware that many people use, and there is nothing wrong with the materials I chose. But that is not the point. The point is that I really should have realized with all of your experience that I should have consulted you on. Damn right, Dan interrupted. If you had come to me, you would not have made so many mistakes. Yeah, well again, I do not know if I would call them mistakes so much as choices, Ben said. But look, I would really like to work with you. You know, maybe even learn at your feet. Do not patronize me, Dan warned. No, I am not an idiot. Come on, Ben said. Look, I am not trying to replace you, man. I could not possibly. and you know 100 times more than I ever could. And look, this is your house. So if you want to keep doing everything around here after a hard day of work, then that is your call. You damn right it is, Dan said, his chest puffing out. You know what? Maybe I did overreact. It is just that I have always been the lion at the head of the pride around here. You start doing stuff I am supposed to be doing, suddenly there is a hyena in the pack. Wait, would I not just be the young lion if you were the old lion? Ben asked. Why do I have to be the hyena? You just are, Dan shrugged. Here is what we are going to do. From now on, I am going to try to let you do most of the work and I will supervise. I will be the old lion, laying out in the sun, eating an antelope. While that is away, Ben said. But I was thinking that we could work together, and that way we both win. No, I am going to let you win, Dan said firmly. I am going to go ahead and finish the closet, and I am going to let you do the thing I do not trust anybody else to do. The roof? Ben asked. It is kind of bitter cold, and the roof is slippery. You do not have to say that to make me feel better, Dan said. I have made my peace with this. Ah, see? Grab yourself a ladder, a bucket of sealer, and a rope to tie yourself around the chimney, and fix the roof. It is pitch black. You want me to go and do it right now? Ben asked. Oh gosh no, Dan laughed. Make yourself a sandwich first. You can take it up there with you. In the kitchen, Darlene was sitting with Becky. How did it go?